everyone, it's Sharana from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing American Horror Story 1984, Episode 9, Final Girl. I know what y'all thinking. Beach, where is episode 8? Y'all, didn't nothing happen in episode 8? So I just watched the episode. Literally nothing happened whatsoever. All I can say is that Montana put that good on Trevor, make him want to kill himself so he could be with her for the rest of his life. But it was just a setup episode. Nothing happened. Brooke trying to, basically on her vengeance to go kill Margaret. She felt like she about that life. Nothing really happened. It was really just a setup to get us to the season 9 finale of American Horror Story 1984. And so the episode opens up and there's this guy, he just roaming around. I was like, hold up. Are we in the 80s still? But I was like, no, he got a cell phone. So what point of time are we in? So, but what I was delighted to see that it was Finn Whitrock, who is an American Horror Story alum, and so it's very nice to see him. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, where are we going with this? Why are we introducing a new character in the final episode? But we see that he's looking around taking pictures. We see the tattered signs of the concert that was supposed to happen in 1989. So I don't know if did it happen? Did they just kill everybody? What's going on? So we see that Montana pops up because Montana's always there to save the day, to ask the questions that we were absolutely thinking at that time. And so she confronts him. Because at first I was like, is this the Fire Festival all over again? Back in the 80s, was this the original Fire Festival? Because nothing was there. And she was like, hey, what are you doing here? We haven't seen anyone in years. So I was like, okay, years. So this has to be in the future. And so we see that we find out that he is actually Bobby. He's Mr. Jingle's son. And so I'm just like, Lord, why did he come back here? What is going on? He trying to find answers about his father. We saw in last week's episode that essentially Mr. Jingles, he got killed. He made peace. He found his little brother Bobby. His mama stopped trying to kill him. And she had her family back together again. So I thought he was living peacefully. So we see that it's 2019. Montana trying to take this man's phone. I was like, girl, you can't just be taking people's cell phones like this. I know you don't know no better because you're trapped in the 80s forever, but I'm just trying to let you know proper etiquette, and that's not where it's at. So I almost said Finn, his real name. So essentially Bobby's having a hard time trying to believe Montana what she's telling him. He has his whole scrapbook. He's basically studied all of the key players at Camp Redwood, all of his horrible history. And so essentially we find out after the conversation that he's having with Montana that his aunt fulfilled her brother's wish to basically raise him, help take care of him. And so she essentially tells him what happened on her deathbed, and this leaves him searching for answers. And so he's having a hard time trying to grasp that Montana is who she says she is, because he was like, girl, you supposed to be in your 50s now? This don't make no sense. Then we see that Trevor shows up, and I was like, I guess she got that good. She got that good all the time. Ghost. I'm going to stop, because I said I was going to do better. But y'all know what I was getting at. So Trevor and Montana, they're basically trying to fill him in on everything, how all of this is happening. And so we see that they end up making him shoot her, and Trevor ends up killing himself. And then they come back to prove to Bobby, hey, we really are ghosts. You need to believe us. We're trying to get you out of here. It's not safe for you. We have basically been trying to protect you for the past 30 years. And so we see that Trevor actually ends up killing Dylan and push him off of campgrounds. But before that, we're trying to figure out, how did Trevor die in the first place? So Trevor tries to stop Margaret from doing the concert. He doesn't want to put any more lives into danger because her assistant Courtney basically told him what happened with the band being murdered on the bus. And so he takes the tour bus. He blocks the road. He's telling people, making them stories, telling them, hey, it got canceled. It's not happening. He's trying to save as many people as he can. Margaret wasn't having that. She was not having that. She didn't want him getting in the way of her Muncie. So essentially, Margaret ends up shooting Trevor a couple of times. And so he's about to die. And she was like, no, I purposely killed you outside of the campgrounds so you can't come back and get your little thing. I ain't gonna let you be happy even in death. She didn't say all of that, but it's essentially what she was telling him. But his boo thing came baby, come on, crawl over here. I felt like that's how I talked to my godson when he was learning how to crawl. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. So Montana was coaching her well-endowed man to make it. But like Trevor was like, babe, I can't do it. I'm not gonna make it. And I was like, girl, I don't think he gonna make it. You gonna miss out on your forever ding-a-ling. So, but we see that Brooke pops up out of nowhere, and then Montana get all dramatic like, don't you touch him. Don't touch him. But Brooke ends up helping Trevor get across the line so he could die in Camp Redwood, so Montana can get her forever ding-a-ling every single day, all day. I said, you know what, girl? Talk about a glow up right there. Not really your glow up, but okay, I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna get in trouble again. So, so that's how we see that Trevor actually made it to the other side. And Montana's like, why would you do this? She's like, because I'm not you. Like, I'm not a bad person. And so she basically walks away to go do her little thing. But in the meantime, we see that Trevor ends up killing Dylan because they had to take care of Dylan, who popped up in last week's episode, which was very disrespectful for him to kill the Mary Kay lady, because the Mary Kay lady wasn't doing nothing but trying to collect her coins, make everyone look beautiful, and don't act like when nobody using that Skin So Soft back in the day, and y'all probably still using it. But we see that he ends up killing him. He makes sure that he kills him and then pushes him off of the campground so Dylan won't become a problem, because what we've been seeing in previous episodes is that if you die, even when they kill the bad people just come back to terrorize the good ghosts. So they can't have that. They want to be in peace for the rest of their lives. So we see that Bobby keeps refusing to leave. So he's asking them like, okay, so if you guys did all this to protect me, then the Night Stalker, like, he could come back. So how did this happen? And so essentially they find out that they basically been killing Richard Ramirez. They've been killing this man every single day for 30 years. Like, coming up with crazy ways to kill him every single time. I was just like, dang, that's talk about karma, okay? But we see that because he's back, of course, something crazy has to happen. And so I was upset at this scene because, Birdie, she was just trying to get her something the whole time, okay? So we see that Chet and Birdie, they're on duty to kill him for the night. And so essentially she was like, hey, like, you've been getting everybody else some of that good. Why don't you give me some of that good? Let me give you some mature good. Make it keep coming back. I'll make your food. Make sure you just sit, okay? So they about to get it on them Ramirez, Satan, wake his behind up, and then stop Birdie from getting her ghost cutty. I said, you couldn't at least wait till they was done. I mean, I'm just saying, just let her get a little something. So he ends up killing her. Then he starts running after Bobby done behind. Bobby runs out. Montana, he kills Trevor. Montana try to jump him. He pushed her back. Then the ghost, basically, they do a ghost jump. They jump in Ramirez, but somehow Ramirez I can't even say his name, the Night Stalker, because clearly I'm struggling. So then he goes, all of a sudden he just do this weird, just throw a little knife and then get Bobby in the back. He's like, oh, I feel like that's like when Ricky got shot in Boys in the Hood. Okay, I'm sorry. Totally sidetracked. So we see that he falls. I was like, dang, he finna die. But you know what? He was getting on my nerves the whole time. I want to talk to my daddy. I said, sir, you don't see all these ghosts? You don't see this crazy man trying to kill you? Like, come back. Your daddy ain't going nowhere. Just get out for right now. Just be easy. Come back with a real plan now that you know what you're dealing with. But no, he doesn't. So essentially, they do another ghost drive-by, jump him, and then they tell him, hey, go to this medical center, ask to speak to the director, and then they'll give you all of the answers that you need. Of course, the director is Donna. And I was like, we got a black girl for a final girl, because we saw in episode 8 where Donna basically says like, hey, Brooke, you can be the final girl. And then she was like, what's that? She was like, the girl who always lives to tell the tale, who survives over everyone. There's never a black girl, so it won't be me. And I was like, you know what? You weren't telling no lies. But when I saw her, I was like, it's 2019. And we got a final girl. And the final girl is black. Okay, I'm sorry. But I was really excited to see her. So I was like, okay, so if she made it, what the heck happened to Brooke? So we see that we go back to that night. We see that Donna goes after Margaret because they have to kill Margaret because she's like the main person they've been trying to get vengeance from. So the ghosts kind of make up a pact that, hey, we're not going to kill all the people here. We just need to take care of Margaret. She's the main issue. That's who we need to take care of. And so Margaret sees that they coming out with the little pitchforks, the little torch things. I was like, look at Roanoke. Look like a little nod back to the Roanoke season. But we see that she locks herself in the room. Donna comes out of nowhere trying to kill her. And then she hits her. Then Brooke comes up out of nowhere. Then stabs her. And I was like, get her, Brooke, get her. But then the gunshot went off. I was like, damn. They done killed Brooke. She broke out of jail just to get her behind shot. I was just like, well, I be damned. So then she falls, and I was like, well, this only proves that Donna's the final girl. I was still happy. I was like, I'm sorry, Brooke, because you went through a lot. But Donna was the final girl. But then when we see, after he's talking to him, he's like, okay, so you must have been the one who's been sending these checks to me. He keeps saying that someone's been sending him money. He thought it was his dad, thought his dad was alive. But they're like, nah, homie, your daddy been dead for 30 years. We ain't even seen him. So he thinks it's Donna, but Donna's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, I know she was trying to be good in the world, but she doesn't strike me as somebody who's going to send you some free money and she don't even know you. So then we realize that Brooke is alive. So they end up tracking down the address of where the checks have been coming from. Brooke like, what took you so long? And I was just like, how is she alive? How she still look good? I mean, Donna was still looking good to be in her 50s, but I was like, Brooke, like, you don't look like you nowhere near your 50s. I thought that she had gave her soul to Satan and like she had been killing people and that's how she stayed alive, but that wasn't it. She really just got out, Ray, her little boo thing, who got him some little cuddy, some ghost cuddy, gave her some ghost virgin cuddy. He got her out, made sure that she woke up, said she woke up in the hospital and she wanted to do good in the world. And sorry, I've been choking, y'all. She wanted to do good in the world. And basically, she was the one sending him the checks. She married a doctor. She has kids. She's living a great life. And I was just like, I mean, okay, there's no catch. She's just happy. I mean, okay for you to be happy. And I'm happy that there's two final girls, as long as my girl Donna was one of those final girls. But yeah, that's pretty much what happens. And then Bobby done behind decides that he wants to go back to find his daddy again. They looking at him crazy. I'm looking at him crazy. The ghost above looking at him crazy. Even Satan below looking at him crazy. Like, Sarah, are you serious right now? And so essentially when he goes back, Margaret pops up trying to kill him. But y'all, can we talk about Margaret's death real quick? I almost forgot. So they got Margaret good. I feel like she should have suffered a little bit longer. Basically, they took her outside. They cut all her limbs off, put her in the meat grinder so the meat grinder can throw her body on the other side so she could die and not come back here, back in the actual campgrounds. I was like, you know what? Y'all got her good. I was very satisfied with how Margaret went out. But you know what? Margaret was a G until the end. I appreciate her for that. But she tries to kill him. Then Mr. Jingles show up and kills her. And he's like, Daddy, son. That's not what happened, but I'm just saying they had a heartfelt moment. And so then as they trying to have their heartfelt moment, Margaret kills Jingles. Then Bobby started running. And I was like, the whole time I was like, Bobby, you got stabbed in the back. How did you heal so quickly? How much time elapsed? I was just like, you ain't walking with no limp. You got this heavy backpack on. Like you didn't just get stabbed in your back. I was just really confused by all these events and how all this stuff happened. But okay, I guess I just have to live with it. And so essentially, Grandma come to save Bobby. And she kills Margaret for killing Jingles. And then they have this very cute goodbye where they tell him leave and don't come back. Just keep living life, son. They play this heartfelt music and it's beautiful. But I'm just like, y'all, this is a horror show. Why are we having a happy ending? Like, I'm happy for Bobby, even though I feel like Bobby should have died for even being stupid for going back and forth into Camp Redwood like that. But I just felt really underwhelmed by this season. I'm sure it's just me. I know a lot of you guys, you really enjoyed American Horror Story 1984. I am happy that you enjoyed it. You like it. I love it. But for me, it was a miss. Like, last week's episode didn't even need to happen, to be quite honest with you. And then I felt like even in this episode, even though they wrapped so many things up, there are so many things that was left unsaid. Like, the whole point was, I thought that they were saying because his crazy mama, Ben's crazy mama, was so upset that she wouldn't let any of the ghosts be at rest, that I thought that once she was happy at the end of last week's episode, she got her family back, that everyone would just go and find peace. But that didn't happen. And then to kill Ramirez, they still didn't go and find peace. So, like, this whole point was they were saying that there was some type of curse on the ground that kept all of these souls here. So why didn't they actually move on? Like, what was the point of even bringing that up, even trying to say that it was his mother who was causing everyone to basically not be able to move on? That just made no sense to me. And so they just supposed to just sit there for the rest of their lives. What is the actual curse? Can we talk about this? Are we going to come back to this in a later season? I just didn't understand that. I just felt like that was like the biggest question that was like so left unanswered. And then how did Margaret come back if they threw her on the other side? I was confused by that too. I thought the whole purpose was to throw her on the other side so she couldn't come back. And if Bobby was in Camp Redwood, then how was Margaret able to get to him in the first place? None of this made sense to me whatsoever. So that's why, like, the issues that I had, it felt like there was like a lot of setup and a lot of subplots that they introduced that they never actually like followed up on before the end of the episode. And then the whole setting of them basically telling us what happened like in a flashback and just wrapping up the whole thing with Brooke so quickly, not really seeing what happened with her in her life, what happened with Donna in her life. Like, how was Donna able to just go be this medical director and no one asked her questions about how she survived? Like, none of this stuff. None of it made sense to me. And so for me, I was really let down by American Horror Story 1984. This was not one of my favorite seasons. Like, it was okay, but I mean, you guys seen how late I've been putting out my reviews. Like, it's a struggle for me to even watch. Honestly, I was doing these reviews for you guys, like, just to be able to communicate with you. But I hope the next season is better. They were already renewed for 2 more seasons, so we'll have to see how this turns out. But for me, this was a miss. I was really disappointed how this season turned out. But please let me know what you thought in the comment section. How did you feel about this season? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you love the heartfelt, warm ending? Something that we really don't get to see that often in the American Horror Story franchise. Was it a nice change of pace for you? Did you feel as though you were satisfied by how everything played out? How did you feel about, you know, having 2 final girls? Like, I was really excited for that. It's probably one of my favorite moments of the entire season, was that they kind of wrote all of these wrongs of the 80s horror tropes. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the season. Guys, I don't know if you caught my live before, but I'm actually doing a GoFundMe to go to LA. I am trying to make it in this industry, and I have to be in LA to be able to basically network and meet people who can make things happen for me. There's an opportunity that was presented to get me to LA, but I need to stay longer to kind of hit a couple of other events and set up some meetings. So I have a GoFundMe that I will have in the description section below. If you guys can donate, if you can share. I'm trying to hit a goal very quickly because I actually fly out on Monday. Anything will be greatly appreciated. But those are my thoughts on American Horror Story 1984, Season 9, Episode 9, Final Girl. Guys, we're at the end of the road. We're at the end of the road until next year, until we figure out what this new American Horror Story season is going to be. But I love you guys forever and ever and ever. One of my favorite shows to review because of you guys alone. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.